Hello, my name is Mark Cooper. In 2004, I set up the lettings department at Cooper's. Over the years, many people have asked me, what makes us different? Why should we use your company to let out my property? It's a question I've been asked many times, and I've always said, well, the team you'll be dealing with at Cooper's are such wonderful people. They'll give you a great service. They're very knowledgeable. We're the most recommended agent in the borough. But of course, most people expect that to get a good service, and most agents offer it. So over the last 12 to 18 months, I've been thinking long and hard about how to improve our service. We've asked many landlords, how would we increase the service that we're offering to them? They've come up with many good ideas, from wanting to know how their property is performing in the local market, whether the property's gone up, how much it's worth, what the property market has done in this immediate area, not just nationally. They've also been telling us that they want to know any new properties that come up that might be a good acquisition to enhance their property portfolio. They wanted to know the best buy-to-let mortgage rates. One other thing that they've come to us and said that they really want is to understand that if they have a problem with a tenant, should the worst happen and the tenant doesn't pay the rent or won't move out of the property, they have access to an expert in that field. They've also told us that it'd be really helpful if they had a tax consultant to speak to, someone who could advise them on capital gains tax, whether they needed to declare their rental income, what the tax rates were that, and the implications that go with it. How do we use this information from our landlords to enhance our service? Well, the first thing we made sure of was we got all our members of staff to pass their industry qualifications, so that they're all members of the Association of Residential Lettings. Now, this is an important first step, so that any landlord could feel comfortable when they phoned into Cooper's, they'd be dealing with an expert in property. We then needed to decide how we could enhance our service by using the information they've given us. How could we really put it into practice? What we decided to do was report to our landlords every 6 months, telling them how their property had performed during that period, what their property was worth, and also what had happened in the local market specifically in terms of price rises or falls. We'd also tell them what their property was doing in terms of performance, in terms of yield that they were achieving, which is very important for our landlords to know. Another area we addressed was to keep them informed regularly of the best buy-to-let rates on the market, something that could really save our clients some money. We'd also, every 2 months, email through the latest property opportunities to enhance their portfolio, whether that's for capital growth or really good, strong yield opportunity. We also teamed up with a tax expert so that the landlord could speak to a tax consultant who could advise them on any of the issues that they had questions on. We also found it very important that we had a solicitor to work very closely with, so that any landlord who was letting their property through Cooper's could speak to someone in case they had that rogue tenant. With all the best intentions, if a tenant goes into a property, may lose their job or circumstances can change, the worst can happen, and should that eventuality come in, they need to be able to feel comfortable and have peace of mind that they can speak to someone who's an expert and advise them accordingly. We're going to continue to evolve our service. Over the next few years, we'll see many more changes in the industry, and legislation will keep changing. And so really important to us that we keep landlords informed of all these changes and keep enhancing everything that we do. So if you've got any good ideas, love to hear them. Please email me, mark@coopersresidential.co.uk. Thank you.